Uh, Hi, it's Limey. I don't really know. I was kind of bored through the day. I don't really know what to do. So why not just make a dumb tier list video? It's the first thing that popped in my head. So, and of course, it's Pokemon. You know, I'm a Pokemon guy. I don't share very much, but I am literally the Pokemon guy. I played all of these games except for one, and we'll get to that. So, I might as well just start off. The first, like, generation of Pokemon is fine. The games are, like, okay, in my opinion. I don't really care for them because they're very old, they're very dated, they're very glitchy, but they have some charm to it. You know, also this tier list was made by Phoenix Master, so I'll probably put a link to it in the description if you guys want to, like, you know, look at it. So, but uh, it's just okay. It's just very okay. Like, I have no reason to go back to it. I think yellow is just a bit better. Probably just like right here. It's just okay. There's no reason to like drool over it. It's just a good game. You know, it has a better remake, way better remake that makes it way more playable since, you know, Game Boy games are pretty hard to find. And even if you have a Game Boy, but they're just fine games. They're okay. I don't hate them. I didn't hate beating it. I thought it was just okay, since it's very dated, it's very glitchy, but it has some charm to it. You know what I mean? I mean, it was made by like what, 5, 7 people. That's kind of crazy in my opinion. It's kind of crazy how like 5, 7 people can make this like huge, like this very glitchy, messy game that was not rushed. It was not rushed. It was like, it was more of people not having really experience. So, you know, that's always great. But yeah, they're just okay. I almost put them in D because they're just very dated. This again, dated, glitchy, blah blah blah. You know. Then we had Gen 2. Gen 2 is a huge step up. I actually had a lot of fun replaying these games. Obviously, I'm gonna say this, like, always the remakes are always better because it just, I like the appeal and aesthetic more. But in general, it's always just like the remakes are always better. I know, maybe some for some games, but these games aren't as dated as I didn't think they were going to be as dated, or I thought they were going to be more dated, but they surprisingly weren't. They were good games, and it helps that you know, they have a larger team and they got this game out with a bit more experience, and I liked it. This is like just Gen 1, but like a lot better. So I think Crystal is really good though. Crystal is like actually almost, I think, A tier. But Silver and Gold are just are okay. It's B tier, just for good. It's good. Not as bad, or you know what? Screw this. Not as like bad as these two, because I like yellow. It's just a better version of red and blue. So, you know, always nice. But here is where we actually get to like the amazing games. I'm actually gonna put this down. Like Ruby and Sapphire is like maybe it's like a B plus, It's really close to an A. It's an amazing game, but it's flawed out by the fact that it just has a better version that is like 10 times like better. So there's like no reason to play this version, and that comes along with another certain gen. This game just introduced me to Pokemon. I think actually Emerald did, but it's the gen. And it's in general has a lot of really good Pokemon. It's not that dated, honestly. It looks pretty good for a Game Boy Advance game. Sorry. It's good. It's like actually good. It's an actually good Pokemon game. Like obviously for this time, it's probably good, you know, but for like now, it's not very good. But this game is still really good. It's not as good as Emerald, since Emerald is literally an S tier, since it's an amazing game that literally, I don't know how to explain it. It's somehow they made a better version of already good game, and then made it like 10 times better to the point where I don't know if you can top it. In the Pokemon franchise, probably. But like in general, this is like one of my favorite Game Boy Advance games. It was great. I love the aesthetic. The lot of Pokemon were really cool. It introduced me to Pokemon. Great. And then we have the remakes. This is where let's start off the remakes. This is just the better version and the better way to play these two games. I still think it's the better way to play those two games. Because this game isn't. I'll get to that later. But the game is good. The game is in general like really good. It's just the better way to play Gen 1, like 100 times better. And it helps that it has this really cool art style that I love for these Gen 3 and on its way forward. Gen 3 literally made Pokemon what it is today, and I love it for it. But we have now a very controversial gen. We have Gen 4. Gen 4, in my opinion, is this game is right down here. And for the sole purpose that, again, like this one, it's literally just a worse version of another amazing game that is one of my favorite Pokemon games of all time. Platinum is... I like Platinum more than Emerald. I think Platinum is so good. I've replayed through it like already 2 times. It's I think like 3 times. I can't even count. It's just so good. The freaking music is way better. There's a bunch of new Pokemon, obviously. You know, introduced in this gen. The music, dude, it's so good. It's such a step up from Platinum, not Platinum, from Pearl and Diamond. It's crazy. It's crazy how like better, like they keep doing this, by the way, throughout this entire thing. Maybe throughout this entire thing, they keep. Actually, I think this. No, this is the last. Oh yeah, this is the last Pokemon game. Oh, besides Black and White. That I'll talk about that later. But this game, amazing. Back to this game. I'm back to Pearl and Diamond. It's fine. But the biggest issue is that it's very, very slow. If you search up like Pearl and Diamond, Blissey HP bar thing, it's a meme. It's so bad. It's so slow, and the game is finished. It's fine. It's a good game. It's a good game. It's just that it's literally classed out by Platinum in every single other way. There's no reason to play these games in other Platinum. There's literally no reason to play these games, and I mean that legitimate. With Ruby and Sapphire, I could see you wanting to play this game instead of Emerald, even though it makes no sense. But this game, there's literally no reason to play this instead of Platinum, unless you just want to play them. Which I did play them because I got these version first and then I got Platinum. But there's just again no reason to play these two games really. So because they have better versions of them that just do the exact same thing but better. But then we have my favorite Pokemon remake is Heart Gold and Soul Silver. I adore this game. There's a weird thing, or a lot of people are now weirdly turning on this game and say it's the worst Pokemon game because it was rushed. I played this game like 5 times already and had a new team each time. This game is not rushed. It doesn't feel rushed at all. It has my favorite music, maybe maybe not in the entire franchise, but it has. Oh, the music is so good. Oh my god, like I think this is probably like maybe top 5 for my favorite OSTs of all time. It's crazy. And I think there's another one on here that has like maybe just a teensy better OST. But this game is so good. I'm actually gonna put it like above Emerald. I love the DS era. That's by far my favorite era of Pokemon, is the DS era, including the 3DS era. It's just so... It's so good. It's so good, man. I recommend playing... If you want to play Pokemon, I recommend playing either of these 2 games first. They're not that hard, and Platinum's kind of hard. But Soul Silver and Heart Gold are both... it's the same game, basically, but different, like, legendaries. But they're both very just... I really wish... I'm off topic. I keep doing this. I have ADHD, but I do really wish Crystal got a remake, because it would have just been a better version of this game. But still, nonetheless, Heart Gold Soul Silver is amazing. I love everything about it. It's just mwah, perfect. And then we have my arguably favorite gen, Black and White. And then also Black and White too. This game is also good. How do they keep putting out bangers? Like, oh my god, they went from like, oh, this game is not very good, it's old and dated, to, oh, okay, this game's fine, to really, really good, to like one of my favorite games of all time. I don't know how they do this. This is like maybe a tie. I think I like Black and White a bit more. I like Black and White a bit more because it has my favorite gen. It has my favorite amount of Pokemon. A lot of my favorite Pokemon reside in this gen. It's just, how do they keep one-upping themselves. They keep over and over again. They keep just like making bangers, and I don't know how they did it. And nowadays, it's very controversial to say that because, you know, I don't know if I do that anymore. But back then, this game was so hated on. People hated this game. I remember being a kid when I loved this game. I still love it today. It's probably one of my top 5 favorite games of all time. It's immense. It's so weird how there's so much hate for this back in the day, and everyone loves it. I don't know what the heck, why so many people hated it back in the day. Maybe because it was different, but this might take place for my favorite Pokemon game so far on this list. It's so good. Actually, scratch what I said about these two. I would recommend playing this game first, because the sprites move. I adore the movement in sprites. I know people don't like the movement in like the sprites. I love them. I think they're really cool. And plus, they had to animate it for every single one. That's crazy. Again, the gen, like the freaking Pokemon in this gen is so good. I could talk about Black and White for ages. I literally could. But I can't talk about Black and White 2 because it is so far the only Pokemon game I have not played yet. So I'm not going to rank it. But I've seen just a bit of gameplay of it. But honestly, I've seen like nothing from this game. All I know is that it's basically Black and White, but 2. But I've never played it. I don't have the game cartridge, and I don't really like pirating my games. I will sometimes pirate it if I have to, but this is one that I don't really want to, and I want to find a physical copy for it. Once I find a physical copy for it, I will make a video and I will cry. So, you know, I'm not gonna rank this one because I can't. I have never played it, and it hurts. But you know, I might honestly own up to it, and then eventually just pirate it and play it. Well, Nintendo, you're not watching, right? So, you know, I'm gonna cry, but it's okay. We have X and Y, which is, ooh. You know how a lot of Sonic fans say, well, no, not even Sonic fans. A lot of people say about Sonic how he had like a rough transition into 3D, even though I don't think that he had a rough transition into 3D at all. I think Adventure was a great game. I think Adventure 2 was even a better game. I think this applies way, way more to Pokemon. This game just okay. It's nothing special. They went from one of my favorite games of all time of peak to just an okay game that has a lot of good Pokemon, don't get me wrong. Every single gen has really good music and a lot of good Pokemon, but in general, this game was just kind of okay. It kept a lot of stuff I like about Pokemon, but I miss the sprites, obviously, but what can you do? You can't keep a sprite game around this long. There's no way you can. I love pixel art so much, but with this game, I feel like it's Pokemon. Of course, they gotta go in the 3D route. And it's a good game. It's fine. It's really just okay. It's probably just like right here. In terms of like, just in general. It's okay. It's good. It's okay. I'm gonna say a lot going further through, but it's a fun game. I've had some fun with it. I haven't played it. It's probably the least it's probably honestly probably the least played Pokemon game besides these. You know what? Fuck. You know what? You know what? Yeah, that deserves to be down there now. I just don't care for it. It's definitely, I just don't care. But hold on, I'm gonna make some changes just for a second. I can't decide. I'm gonna say this and be controversial about it. This is just right here. It's X and Y is fine. I really really wish they made Z, but they didn't. So it's really sad because I feel like they could have just fixed everything I was wrong about X and Y, which is like a lot of the weird story routes. The game is kind of easy. Actually, it's really, really easy. It's just, it's okay. It's a good game. It does not scale in comparison to any of these games up here at all, but it's a fine game. It had a very, very bad time going into 3D, but you know, it's okay. I've said that so many times. And then we have probably not my most controversial opinion so far, but I really like this game. I don't think it's better than, you know, it's borderline better than Emerald. I'm gonna say that. This remake just blew me out of the water. I thought I was gonna hate it, but then I didn't. And then I really, really enjoyed the Mega Evolution mechanic that was released in X and Y. And then I had a blast just playing through the game. And then I realized, oh, I like this game almost, maybe a bit more than Emerald. It's tied. I think it's tied. This game, I love it. It's not my #1 guilty pleasure on here, but it's weirdly good. It's weirdly good. I don't know why I like it, even though I should definitely hate it since it's a remake of a game that was already okay, that was in 3D and had the X and Y stuff, and it should have been just worse, but it was better, and I loved it. I loved this game. I'm gonna say this, that if you don't want to play Ruby and Sapphire, I recommend playing the 3DS version. Or Emerald, duh. But yeah, Generation 7 now. Okay, this is where Pokemon is starting to rise up a bit. I adore these two games. I'm gonna say this, okay, these two games are right here. I adore these games. This is, oh my god, I love this game. It literally just did X and Y, but figured out like a path, and then just made, oh, it's so good. I love they introduced forms, Alola forms, and going on to other stuff. They still kept the Mega Evolution stuff. A bunch of new Pokemon that are really good, fantastic additions. The music in this game is beautiful. Oh, this game is so good. It's so good. It's so good. And also I got Ultra stuff, and it just makes the game like 2 times better, which is crazy. I know a lot of people don't like it. I love it. I honestly, there's a freaking mode where you can travel into portals and you just find like shiny Pokemon every single time. How could you not love this game? Both these games. I honestly could probably ramble on about these games. These 2 games probably the longest out of all of these. So I'm just gonna quit it. I might make a video just talking about the brilliance of these 2 games, because it's such a big part of my childhood. Not even childhood, like, great. I love it. Okay, the Let's Go games. This is definitely the most different game, and I'm very surprised that this is a mainline Pokemon game. This is a mainline Pokemon game? A remake of a game that already had a remake, but is not really a remake. It's more like just a reimagining. I like it. It has a new rival. It has a really, really cool Pokemon. It's more like, this is just the Pokemon Go game. If Pokemon Go got like an official like mainline game, this is it. And it's actually decent. I actually like it. And I will put it on the same tier as Fire Red Leaf Green, because it's just like, if you want to play Fire Red Leaf Green in an easier way, with a 3D art style and a way easier Pokemon shiny honey mechanic, and like a way easier in general gameplay stuff, just go with Let's Go. It has a very different style, but I in general like it. I liked it. I had fun with it. It was fun. It was good. I liked it a lot. Anyways. People say this is the worst Pokemon game of all time. And I'm sadly not gonna agree. These 2 are just, they're just old, and they're fun, I guess. The glitchy messes that are old. This game is, I adore it. This is my #1 guilty pleasure. People hate this game, and you know what? I see it. I see why people hate this game. The writing in this game isn't very good. There's a lot of weird, dumb moments in this game that don't make any sense. But I love it. I adore this game. It's borderline S. It has a lot of fun stuff. It is by far probably the easiest Pokemon game on this entire list. The Dynamax stuff is really fun. And the DLC, by the way, if without the DLC, this game would be like right here. The DLC bumps it up, like right here. The DLC bumps it up to an A. The DLC is the DLC is really fun. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I honestly kind of love it more than the main game. But this game is amazing. I know people are gonna say, "Oh, it sucks," blah blah blah. The story is not very good. The story is not very good. I love the gym battles. They're really intense, but at the same time, it's very easy. This game is very easy because you just you can just like go to the Dynamax area, or the wild area, and then just kill Dynamax Pokemon over and over again. And once you kill every single Dynamax that's in that area, they all just respawn with new ones. So you can just keep grinding Dynamax stuff for the entire, like, I don't know, 24 hours. And then you can just level up your Pokemon all to level 100 and then get to the final boss. It's really broken. It's really stupid. But I adore this game. If you play this game legitimate and don't do that, it's still really fun. It's just a really fun game that people hate, and I get why they hate it. It was kind of rushed, but I would like to say that the music in this game is probably the biggest crutch. The music in this game is great. You know what? I'm gonna boldly do this and move this down and put this right here. People are gonna hate me, but it is my #1 guilty pleasure game of all time. Maybe not. I don't know. But I love this game. People hate it. I understand why, but in my opinion, I love it. It's a mess, but it's such a fun mess that I love. And now we got 2 games left. Ugh. Okay. I think this is the first game that actually kind of like visibly made me sad. I really wanted to like this game. I got both these games for Christmas, and I played for the first game. I played for the first one, Pearl. I think I did Pearl first, and it was just okay. Honestly, it was not even okay. It was just really boring. It was just a more boring version of Platinum. And I love Platinum, so I'd rather just play it. The only reason you play this game is just to play a faster, more accessible version of Platinum and Pearl and Diamond. I get it's a remake of Pearl and Diamond, so there's no Platinum in here. But this game is just okay. This is like the first one that visibly makes me kind of sad. I don't know, man. I really wish that in general it got good. I wish it was good. We waited for so long for this game, and it was fine. It was okay. I had some fun with it, obviously, but it's probably because I played through Platinum and these 2 games for like a lot. But it was fun. I don't know if I would recommend it. I would honestly recommend Platinum over it, but if you want to play an HD version that's way more accessible than Platinum of Pearl and Diamond, I would suggest this. You know what? I will say it's better than Crystal. Actually, no, I don't know. Why is Crystal all the way down here? Yeah, these games are right next to each other. It's just really sad. If you want to play a more accessible version of Pearl and Diamond, go ahead. It's right here. It's nothing to scoff about. It's not gonna blow your socks off. Though weirdly, I will say this game is actually kind of hard. This game is like really hard. Why did they change up like the Elite Four so much? All of the Elite Four got items, including Cynthia, which that didn't need to happen. That made everything like 2 times harder for me, especially for me when I went like a Sinnoh only route where I only could catch Sinnoh Pokemon, and I did the thing where I only could catch 1 Pokemon per type. So like if I catch Poison type, I couldn't catch another Poison type. So to make things worse, it wasn't that hard. But that last battle sucked. It really sucked. It was really hard. So if you are playing this game, it's probably gonna be easy. But then that last like Elite Four is brutal. That Elite Four is brutal. Way harder than this one. Or maybe even Platinum. I don't know Platinum. But yeah, okay game. I really wish it was better, but you know, it was a fine remake. Not as good as the last one. hopefully the Gen 5 remake is going to be way better. That one I'm actually way more excited for because there's way more opportunities they could do than just Gen 4, sadly. But, you know, next one, our final game, the most recent one. We'll just put it right here for a minute. Scarlet and Violet is really good. Like, really good. There's some weird story beats. It has my least favorite champion, but I think Nimona makes up for that because Geeta's just not a very good champion. She's very underwhelming. She's just like another Elite Four member. She has nothing going for her. She's very boring. It's I don't know, man. Geeta's just kind of boring. But Nimona makes up for that, for being a great rival and the true champion. I had a lot of fun with this game. I had a lot of fun 100%ing it. It gave me a lot of Legends Arceus vibes, and I'm gonna actually swap these two. It's a really good game. It's like a really, really good game. I expected to not hate it, but to have more fun than I did. I went into this is like, I think this is the first Pokemon game I went into completely blind. Like, completely blind. I went into this completely blind. Every single other game I played here, I either had knowledge of what Pokemon were going to be in it, or etc. I didn't see any of these leaks. I saw maybe like one leak of Meowscarada, and that was it. I went through this game completely blind, and I had a blast. I forgot how much fun it is playing Pokemon completely blind. It's so much fun. If you've never played Pokemon before, which I don't know why you're watching this video, it's just playing Pokemon blind is so much fun. I love it. I wish I could play. I wish I could erase all my memory and play all these games all back over again, but I can't. Great game. OST is great. Toby Fox, he's my best friend. I really wish Deltarune would be here, but you know, that's okay. You know, that's okay. I got this music to be here. At least I got updates, but that's gonna be it. If I actually had to rank this game just based off like what it was, it'd probably be like around here. You know, this is my Pokemon tier list. I've always said this, that there's never been a bad Pokemon game besides the first gen. The first gen is really bad. But in general, I wouldn't even call these games bad. I would just call them old and dated. Back in my day, they were probably good. They're probably good. But now that it's like really badly aged and there's just better versions to play this game, it's kind of just okay. You know, it's not even okay. It's bad. I'll be honest. It's bad. It's not a very fun game. I don't know why you would play these games instead of playing Fire Red, Leaf Green, or just this, or for the sake of just like playing it, just for playing it. So that's it. I finally made another video after like years. I mean like months. And I really want to do more with YouTube. I really do. I love talking. I love just doing all this crap, and I might do more tier list stuff in the future. So that's gonna be it. I'll see you guys on the flip side. Have a very liming day.